What is up, humans of the cardboard? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. I don't feel great today, but we got a new water card. This is the final card revealed for Mako Tsunami support in the next legendary duelist, Duelist of the Abyss, the water-based one. This is his final card. His other support actually was pretty good for Mako Tsunami stuff, and this card's no exception. I actually think it's pretty interesting. I gave it a quick read earlier, but we're going to be going through it today. So we're doing it, okay? Which is kind of funny because I thought there was a good chance, because we already knew it was going to be a monster. I was like, it could be another KAIRYU-SHIN monster. It could be another legendary fisherman. I don't know, legendary fisherman 4. But we ended up getting the KAIRYU-SHIN. Not the prettiest monster we've ever seen. In fact, it's quite ugly, but this one has a little more pizzazz, and the other one has this like cool like teal and purple like flaps on it, has these spikes, has these like crazy looking like, oh my gosh, spikes. It's crazy. But yeah, let's get into this card. He's actually pretty interesting here. So this is KAIRYU-SHIN Leviathan. It's a water sea serpent, level 5, 2000 attack, 1700 effects. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect reads, while Umi is face up on the field, each player can only control one face up non-water monster. If a player controls 2 or more face up non-water monsters, that player sends those monsters to the graveyard until they only control 1. 2. During your main phase, you can add 1 Umi or 1 KAIRYU-SHIN spell or trap, or Sea Stealth spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, so here's what we are looking at here. Long story short, the only downside to this card that I can think of at this point is two. It's like the same alleyway, but it's kind of 2 separate things. 1, it's level 5, so it doesn't get normal summoned without already having like a legendary ocean, which lowers the level of him by 1 in the hand. And 2, doesn't have like a summoning condition from hand. Luckily, we did get the other new monster from Mako Tsunami support, Phasalia, I think, which says like you can send an Umi from your deck to grave just to summon a water monster from your hand, I believe. So I believe he helps pull this guy out, which is really cool. It also lists Umi in the text, so this card is searchable off of the new search card, Fish Sonar. And yeah, getting into the nitty-gritty of like what he actually does. The first effect's nasty. This is like an insane floodgate. I mean, we take a look at floodgates like Tikaboo, and this almost reminds me of Tikaboo, but just kind of type based. So actually, it might even be better than Tikaboo, just because water is such an undertouched like attribute in the game right now. I mean, you really look at the landscape right now. Now maybe when this pack comes out, maybe marine cess you see a lot more often, maybe sharks you see a lot more often, right? And maybe they just kind of come up out of nowhere, and you know, those decks do play around this a little better. But for right now, this is pretty insane. And I also love that this forces the player to send it. By the way, this is not an activated effect, so this cannot be negated. So if you just like have a legendary ocean on the field and you get the additional normal summon for this card, you just summon it and there's nothing to negate. Your opponent could have a board of like 7 monster negates, and you just normal summon this card. There's literally nothing to negate unless they like negated a legendary ocean, which they easily could have potentially, but to them they're like, why does this card threaten me? It doesn't. But once you get this card to stick, there's literally nothing to negate unless they have like a target negate, like imperm kind of negate, but reactive negates not necessarily. So this card would then force them to send almost everything but 1 monster they control, as long as they're not playing waters, which, let's face it, like only 5% of decks in the game right now are playing. So this effect is actually kind of nasty. Secondly, this effect's good too. I mean, like, let's not discount this effect like it's not doing anything for you. This is searching either an Umi or a KAIRYU-SHIN spell or trap, or a Sea Stealth spell or trap. So that gives you a ton of searchability here. Keep in mind, there's a couple different cards that count as Umi, so you do have a little bit of versatility being able to search a couple different things here. KAIRYU-SHIN spell or traps, I believe this gives us search ability. This also essentially just searches us Torrential Tribute, because there is the semi-new, I think it's from earlier this year, the spell that says add a torrential tribute from your deck to your hand, and then engrave, it's just like a Banelinx for any water monster. If any water would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you banish it to protect it. So this card essentially is a nasty Floodgate that also will search you torrential tribute, and you have a Banelinx effect to protect your side of the field from the torrential tribute wiping the board, which will win duels on its own. I guarantee you that. I also love that this is during the main phase. Clearly the strategy is going to be keep this guy on field as long as you can. And so if you're doing that, that means every turn you just go search, effect to search, effect to search. I really like that because there are a lot of monsters that have effects on summon, and that's not bad necessarily depending on the strategy, but this is a guy you want to stick. So I like that turn after turn you keep getting value off of him. Which is really good. And then even when you get to the Sea Stealth ones, I don't necessarily love the new Sea Stealth spell that the Mako Tsunami support has, but the old one, Sea Stealth Attack, is really, really solid. It does like 3 different things. It can like protect all your face-up spell and traps from destruction. It can quick effect banish any water monster from your field till the end phase, so that helps you dodge things. So if your opponent had an out for this guy, you can just quick effect banish him, and then they're like, oh shit, I don't even want to commit to the board now because on end phase he returns, there's nothing to negate, and I just lose. I just have to throw away 2 or 3 of my monsters if I commit too much to the field. And thirdly, it says any monster with an original any water with an original level of like 5 or higher battles, you just immediately destroy the opponent's monster at the beginning of the damage step. So it means like your opponent can't even try and just like walk over this guy with the 1 non-water monster they can summon. So I really like that. This card gives you a ton of versatility in what you can search to help support him. And other than that, I would only say like the first effect, not having access to, like if you can't get Umi on the field with him, that kind of hurts. And also that just means spell and trap removal hurts, but he searches Sea Stealth, so I guess you have like, you know, you have engine ways to protect against that. But a lot of different facets to this card. I love it. It's a searcher. It is a win condition. I'm very happy about this. Like combining this with the new Kraken card, the new Phasalia, the new search spell, and what we already have, I think the Mako Tsunami deck actually does some pretty nifty things. I might look at building it when they come out. But very cool card, very nice card to finish off the Mako support. That means now we are left waiting for 1 more Marincess card that is it's already guaranteed to either be a main deck monster or a link monster. And then we have like literally 6 cards left. They've only had 1 card revealed for sharks, so we should have 6 more shark cards yet to be revealed. This set, by the way, is dropping in the OCG in like 2.5 weeks-ish. So in the next 2.5 weeks, we'll get those final 7 cards revealed. I'm very excited. This is my most excited Legendary Duel set I've ever seen, I think. I was excited for the most recent one, the Synchro Storm, but I think this one even takes the cake over that, just in terms of what the archetypes coming have in store. But let me know your thoughts down below on this card. If there are any interactions or cool utilities that this card has that I'm not thinking of, definitely let me know down below. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go get some rest. Peace.